Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Eve Echoes. Tonight on the show, we're going to touch an interesting subject, which is something that Eve Echoes has and Eve Online does not. It's called Museum Arcana. Now, before we get into our subject for today, please remember to like and subscribe, and if you want to help me keep this channel alive, you can join the merry band in the YouTube channel membership, and you can donate something as small as $2, link in the description. Museum Arcana, or Arcana, or whatever it is pronounced, is basically a lore hub. If you try to access it right away, you'll get like a weird individual, Daniel Olivar, stating that if you have something interesting for him, he might be worth into taking a look at it. And of course, you have these panels of the Museum Arcana with various exhibits that you can just click on them, but you're unable to see like specific information. Now, how do you get these items, and how do you get the items to the museum? We're going to touch that in just a few moments. First of all, I wanted to talk about the actual items. Where do you find them? So, the items appear as ancient remains. Now, the ancient remains have two ways to spawn. Either by dropping in an NPC rack, and you'll see them inside the rack by chance. There's a small chance, there's like extreme rare items. You'll see them in the rack, and when you loot, you'll basically get a notification that, hello, you just picked up something that the museum might be interested in. Be sure to unpack it while docked at a station, so you can only open up the ancient remains while you're inside a station. And the other way to get these to spawn is by mining, and whenever you mine and a cycle ends for your miners, there's a very small chance that the actual asteroid will create a debris, like a shipwreck, right near the actual asteroid, and inside that you'll see the ancient remain. Pretty interesting, huh? I've got 3 of them. Actually, I only have 2 because one I actually opened to see what's inside, and I was pretty captivated because these items offer some lore background. If you're into lore and you're a lore fanatic and you actually want to read as much as possible, these items have plenty of lore written inside of them. Somebody actually paid attention to the lore of New Eden, which is very nice, and it's something to like throw in a round of applause, because that's something called player immersion, and it's not something that you see every day, especially not in. Let's not say not in Eve, because Eve is littered with pieces of lore. But in Eve Echoes, because it's sort of like a spin-off game, it's struggling to be its own independent thing. But so far, we don't have like the informations on regions, we don't have informations on the constellations, like various other lore pieces inside the game. But we have these items. For example, I opened one ancient artifact, one ancient remain, and got armor of the Roveneur. Now, if I go here, it appears this may be something incredible. View entry in Conqueror's Guide to blah 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 blah. If I go here and see view entry, I'll get this panel opened up, and Roveneur is supposed to be a mythical hero king of Garoon. Pretty much something that is based on, at least on, in the Galente mythology. Now, a lot of these items are actually, let's call them practical use items that have been used by the New Eden civilizations after going through the Eve Gate, well, when they came from the known space into this pocket of space. Like, then the gate collapsed, and I hope you pretty much know the story. If you don't know the story, please let me know in the comments, because I haven't touched on any lore videos, and if you really guys want me to start some videos on that. There's a YouTube series made by Sovereign regarding the lore, but if you want to see my take on the lore, please let me know, and I'll probably concoct some episodes for you guys to enjoy. So this is just one of the items. Let's open up some more remains. We have split. You can actually sell them. Regional investigation. So once we pull up investigation sort, and the entrant main is going to be opened up, and you get, I just got Intaki Clackers. View entry in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Eden. These are some... I had one extra item like a couple of weeks ago, and I actually donated to the museum because I really wanted to see how the mechanics work. It was a wind song thing, like we have this, I'm guessing a lot of people have this either on the balcony or on their porches, you know, like a piece of string with some hollow tubes and some weight in the middle that just, when the wind blows, it gets, it hits all those pipes and starts a weird melody. It's playing to the wind, by the way. Okay, so we've got investigate next. We'll take a look at the Intaki Clackers later. We have one more ancient remains to see. We got magic crystal ball. Magic crystal ball. That's interesting. Ooh, this is actually nice. This is actually nice. Can we zoom in? No, we cannot zoom in. A magic crystal ball. Okay, let's see what the magic crystal ball says. Hitchhikers. Okay, we got this open. Magic crystal ball allows you to see into the future, albeit rather murkily. Warning: side effects may include speculation, jumping to conclusion over analysis. This feels just like the description of modern tarot card readers or fortune tellers. Unwanted assumptions, endless discussions, baseless concerns, undue panic, virtual stampedes. Premature ejection needed. Stress used with caution. Okay. So we have 3 items that can be donated to Museum Arcana. Proceed to Museum Arcana. Well, this is where the museum, even if you go in here, you can visit. You said wish to visit. How to visit? It's 16 jumps away from where I am, and it's located in the system of Zimsi, which is a 0.5 security status system, which is high sec. There's no one gonna blap you on your way there. Of course, if you don't go on your journey, if you don't pass through low sec or null sec. But it sits in a high empire space, and no one can camp that. I mean, there's no PvP in high security. So it sits in the Cador region. So we've set this destination, and we're going to start, and we're going to travel to the Museum Arcana, and we're going to donate these 3 items, and I'm going to show you what exactly happens, and what can you benefit from turning these items in. Okay, so we've reached the destination inside the Zimsi system. Now, how do you find the Museum Arcana? Well, it's pretty simple. You either orient yourself inside space, you basically see that specific object in that specific icon called the Mysterious Signature of Arcana, and you can just select it and warp to it. Or you can find it alternatively by going into the overview settings and clicking on the cosmic anomalies, and you'll see the Mysterious Signature of Arcana here, because it's not a station. It is a station, but it's not a normal one. So let's warp to the Mysterious Signature of Arcana, and let's see how we get in contact with the guy that was telling us we should bring him some more stuff. Basically, upon landing, you'll get to this activation gate. I don't know why the system was put in place, probably to prevent mass crowding and create lag, but it's still going to be laggy if there's too many people around. So you activate the warp gate, and you'll be basically transported to the premises of the Museum Arcana, which is actually a station, but when you try to dock, it will not dock in normal ways. As you can see, it's kind of a beauty, actually. It's an Mmorpg station with some interesting designs. Clicking on the station, you'll see the button dock. Now, once you dock, you will be transported into a different user interface than that of a normal station. And I'll say the graphics are pretty cool and are pretty awesome, and the animations are worthy of this engine on which Eve Echoes runs. Again, we get to see this shady figure, Daniel Oliver. This is Museum Arcana. Welcome. You have something I'm curious about in your cargo hold, my child. My child, okay. My god. If you donate it to the museum, you'll be rewarded and learn something new. So, there's 3 item categories indicating the 3 main categories at which you can donate items. Of course, different items will fit into different categories. So I have some items that fit into this category and the third one. The first one we have nothing for. So right now we are prompted into the panel at which we've already seen inside a normal station when you click on the Museum Arcana, and you see this with a lot of stuff. There's the armor of the Revener. And this is a Dorata wind chimes. As you can see, can it make a sound? Yes, it can. I used this before. This is the previous item that I found and I donated. So let's go ahead and donate the armor of the Revener. We can click. There's no play button. There's no animation. We can look under the hood. Just kidding. Let's click Submit. Redeemable Scholar Points. We will get 3,200 Scholar Points. We'll soon get to what the Scholar Points actually mean and how you can use them. So I click on Submit. Armor of the Revener submitted. Thank you for your donation. Knowledge is priceless. And now, you remember, I did have this item in my cargo hold, and it's now gone because it has been donated. It's now, the button states not owned. I do have one more item, actually 2 more items, but they're not from this area. We need to go into the third category now, because the last 2 items are probably in this page. So we have like a weird looking staff, which is... Oh, I actually also had the etched sticks at one point, I think. We have the Intaki clackers. We can click on that and you see redeemable scholar points 120. We can submit this and we'll get the points. Come on. I probably did submit it, but it's bugged. Yeah, it did not refresh correctly. And we have the magic crystal ball, which we can also submit for another 120 scholar points. And again, the UI did not refresh, but it was donated. My cargo hold is empty. So I now have 3,620 points that I can use. So once you can tap this button use, you'll get transported to the New Eden store, and you get this scholar point exchange menu, and right here you can actually buy ship skins, which are pretty nice. Unfortunately, these skins are like for 15 days only. Bummer. Yeah, I kind of wished or wanted for these skins to be permanent, because these items that you find are actually rare. So I'd hope that maybe these would be permanent, but it's at least a bit of a disappointment for me. But you can nonetheless, if you manage to get some hefty amount of scholar points, you can just buy these skins and just wear them for 15 days and show them off to the other people in space. Given the fact that everybody's probably flying zoomed out, unless somebody actually clicks on you and clicks on the observe button in the context menu and actually looks at your ship, it's going to be pretty difficult for other people to see what kind of skin you have on your ship. Another way into accessing this specific store, you basically just leave the station right here, because you cannot access the main menu in the top left corner is actually gone when you're inside of Museum Arcana. And you can just click on the main menu, and then you can click on the New Eden store, and then you can go over to the Scholar Exchange, Scholar Point Exchange. Now all the other skins are permanent, and it says here in the description it's called permanent and it costs Plex. So all these skins with Frigate, Destroyer, Cruiser, Battlecruiser and Battleship skins are permanent and do cost Plex. With the Scholar Exchange Point, these are not permanent, unfortunately. It would have been nice to be, but they're not. So that's pretty much it on the Museum Arcana and how you can get some points, get some skins, temporary skins. But I'd really argue that the most benefiting side of this is having access to some decent lore inside the game. Please leave your comments below if you have any other pointers or if there's something that I missed in this video regarding Museum Arcana. Thank you guys for watching. Very big shout out to my channel supporters. See you guys next time. Cheers.